Hi, this is Vi from Scrappy Mania, and today I'm going to show you how to create this card. It's a very simple card and very simple to do. Hi, this is Vi from Scrappy Mania, and today I'm going to show you how to create this card. It's very simple to do. You're just going to need some watercolor, some watercolor paper, and a card base, and some simple supplies that more than likely you have around your craft room. The inspiration for this card came from this book. This is a book that I got from the bookstore. You more likely have a local library or around where you live, and in my library they do have a section where they sell the books after they're no longer on print, or if they're gonna get new books, they sell the older books. And this is one of the older books that they had there, and it's a painter's guide, and I got it for $5, not too bad. And the money that you pay to buy these books actually helps the library, so I really like going there to get my art books or my inspiration books. So this is the one I'm gonna do. This is the Poinsettia, and this is how it's gonna look. These are the colors that it kind of teach you a little bit about the color family. And then it doesn't use all the colors, it's just telling you some of the colors that it's going to use. And then here it tells you which mixes to mix in order to create this kind of blend that you see here. This painter reference book is very nice because it has information about acrylics, watercolor, and also oils. So I really like this book, and it has a lot of flowers, so I love that. So let's go ahead and get started. What you're going to need is, of course, watercolor paper, and I'm going to use hot press. Actually, this is cold press watercolor paper, 140 pound. I use hot press watercolor paper for this one, but I'm going to try it out with cold press now. You're also going to need a card base. So this is an old card base that I purchased some time ago during last Christmas, and it was these gold foil cardstock or card bases. They were $5 at Michael's. They were 70% off, and they're very nice for the bases of your cards. Now this one is actually this one. So see, as you can see, you can easily put something on top and you didn't even know that there was a saying underneath that said love. So that's why I like these. And it also comes with the matching envelope, so I really like them because of that. So this is the one I'm going to use for that. You're going to need a palette. So I'm going to use this palette, and I'll put all the links to the supplies in the description below. This palette is from Art Impressions, and it's the one that you can use your markers, your watercolor markers, and then you can use it on your stamp image. So any kind of palette will do, and I'm going to use this one for my watercolor. I got some watercolor paints here. These are my Shinhai watercolor artist grade paints. And I created a kit for my daughter, and I gave her, you know, I put all the paint in her palette, and there was a little bit left over on the tubes. So I went ahead and got these dollar palettes at, and they're not palettes, they're actually made for baby wipes. So I got these, and I squeezed the little bit left on the bottle on here, and that's what I'm going to use. And then I'm going to use this Hero Art. And this is a clear stamp, and I'm going to use Holiday Cheers, or I might use Joyful Tidings. I might change the saying a bit. So I'm going to use that. Of course, I'm going to use my stamping tool. I do have a video how I created this, and I love this size. Is perfect for these cards. So I'm going to use that to stamp the saying, because especially with watercolor paper, sometimes your stamping is not perfect. But with the stamping tool, you can really get a nice impression. You can stamp it multiple times. I'm going to use a larger rectangle in order to cut out my layered. So and then I'm going to use some paintbrushes. I got this one. This is a 10 round. I may use this. I have a script liner, a number 4. I'm definitely going to use that one. And then I have a number 8, and this is a round brush. Okay, you need some water, some clear water, and a pencil. So I'm going to go ahead and start drawing out using the inspiration. And so I'm going to go ahead and start drawing out my Poinsettia. So what we're going to create is, let me bring this over here so you can see it. So I'm going to start creating this area here. So about, let's say, about here. And the paper, this is 6.5 by around 5. I'm going to cut it down later, but it's good to start with a larger paper. So you're going to go ahead and create that shape. Very simple shape. As you can see, it comes to a point. Okay, and then it has some lines here. Very faintly, you want to put those lines. And then the next shape comes around this area right here and goes on an angle. It goes on a point. So right here, around here, we're going to go ahead and go out and then in. And we're going to make like some jagged edges. And then I'm going to go out here. And there. And that is actually a leaf. Okay. And then out of here, I'm going to go ahead and create another leaf. Now this is a petal. Okay, and then here it's going to be another little petal. Come to a point. And then this little petal here. And then behind, around this area here, we're going to create another little petal. Actually, it goes around here. Let's create around here. And comes to a point. Actually, it goes in there. Okay. Okay, and then the next one is going to go out here. And actually it goes off the page, but that's okay. Let me redraw that one. It's going to go off the page. And then we're going to have a leaf here. It's going to come, now I'm going to draw this piece here, this little leaf here, which is going to go this way. It's going to go over. And then another one, this right here, is going to come out. And then we have something here that goes out. Like that. We're going to erase some of this here. And then here we're going to do some squiggle lines. That's going to be my center. Okay. And then we need a little more bulk right down here. And this is actually going to be a leaf. This is another leaf. And then, let's see, right here, we need to put probably something here. So that goes there. That is here. That's a leaf. And then we're going to just finish it off with something right here. Okay, I think that's going to be good enough. So now I'm going to put this aside. So as you can see, it's not perfect, but once you watercolor it, you put your saying, it's going to look very nice. So I'm going to go ahead and speed up the video, and I hope I inspire you to start creating some of these. So I went ahead and zoom up a little bit more so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm doing a wet to wet technique. So I'm wetting the petals first, and then I'm taking some yellow, and that's going to be the base. So that's my first wash. And then I'm going to take some opera and just drop it in my wet areas, as you can see there. Now I'm ready to go ahead and start on the darker areas, or the darker petals. And I'm actually using red. And it's a color called red. And then I'm just dropping in the color. I do wet it a little bit. And then I drop my colors, my red colors in. Here I'm giving a little more shade on the areas with some red, and then now I'm ready to do the leaves, which I'm going to also put a base of yellow. Then I'm going to take a little bit of blue, mix it with the yellow, and create this green. And I also use a little bit of the green. I think I use olive green to help give it a little more darkness, or some more shade. So these were very easy to do. Now you can see, just drop some color in. And then now I'm going over it with a little darker color. So I took my red and I added a little bit of brown just to make it a little darker. And here I'm adding a little brown around the edges, just so that way each petal could really stand out on its own. Putting a little shade on my leaves here. And then I switch over to a liner brush. This is a script liner brush, because it's a lot easier to make veining and put highlights with a thinner brush than the large brush that I was using. And notice how when you put a little darker color behind some of these petals, it really makes them stand out. So I'm using the photograph as a reference for my highlights and my lowlights. And then now I'm ready to go ahead and color the outside of my paper. And I'm using blue with a little bit of the colors that I've used. It has a little bit of red, but it's mainly blue. And I think I used cerulean blue. So it's nice and dry, so I'm going to go ahead and remove my tape. And that makes like a pretty painting, like on its own, like that. But we're going to cut it out. Okay, so I'm going to put this aside. And then I'm going to bring over my my scissor cutter with the magnetic platform. I'm going to place that there. I'm going to bring over my Sissic die, and then I'm going to see which side I like best. I think I like it there. Place that down, and then I'm going to run it through my Sissic machine. And there it is. And then there's some holes that don't come out, so you're just going to take a pick and pick these holes off. Now we're going to go ahead and use our seine. So I'm going to place this on here. Okay, let's see what we're going to use. I think this time I'm going to use Joyful Tidings. I think that was going to look very nice here. I think I'm going to place it there. Yeah, I like it right there. And see, that is not perfect at all. So that's why for this project, you may want to either buy the Misty if you want, or you can watch my videos on how to create this. These are very economical to create. This tool in this size will cost $50, while if you make it, you wouldn't spend more than $10 on this. I think I like that. I'm going to clean my stamping tool. And then I usually like to store this underneath, so that way I don't mark my foam. Otherwise, if you store it in the foam, it'll create the indents of the magnet. But if you store it behind it, and it won't come off, it works a lot better. So I always store mine behind my tool. Okay, so I'm going to bring this over, and look how beautiful that looks. So I'm going to go ahead and use some of this very sticky double adhesive tape. And by the way, if you're looking for this tape, I'll put the link. Jen Evers had a nice little video reviewing these tape, and they were very, very, very economical. I got them on eBay. So I'll put the link of her video, and she has all the information about this tape there. She also has a lot of videos on card making and challenges and things like that. So you may want to visit her YouTube channel. So I'll put the link for her channel. Okay, so now I'm going to place this here. And there's my card. No two cards are going to be alike. They're always going to be a little different, but that's the beauty of it. Look how beautiful that is. This one I put some glitter, so you can go ahead and put, I'm going to go ahead and put some glitter glue just to give it a little sparkle. Oop. This glitter glue, it's clogged, so that's why I use a paintbrush, but I don't want to use my watercolor paintbrush to put a little glitter on it. So my hands is good enough. We'll let that dry, and that just give it a faint little sparkle to your card. Look how it sparkles a little bit. So there's your card. So I hope you like this video. It's very easy to do, and thank you for watching. Bye now.